Are you ready to be the best me in 2023? And by me, I mean you. Join me for my Best Me in 2023 goal setting workshop. Hey, it's Amy from Be Healthy Enough, and I did this as a sign up for free workshop live on Zoom on December 29th of 2022. And I had such great feedback, so much feedback. It was amazing. I wanted to pull it together a little bit more concise and not just this open Zoom call. And some at the beginning of the meeting, I got interrupted. In the middle of the meeting, I got interrupted. In fact, my slides got all messed up towards the end. So what I'm doing now is just filming this on my computer with my dog sleeping by me. There are some workers in the house and he is whistling, so you might hear some whistling. But I'm going to step you through this process. I will have a workbook available if you want to download it. In order to put it give it to you through YouTube, I have to send it to you. I can't add a PDF link, or at least I haven't found out how to do that. So I'll leave a link to a landing page where you can just put in your email or your name, and I'll send it right to your inbox. That's it. But if you don't want to, you can follow along with just your own journal or just a blank piece of paper if you want. All right, we're going to get started. I'm going to be on my computer. I'm right here, and I've got my PowerPoint slides all ready to go. This is the Best Me in 2023 goal setting workshop, starting the year off with a focus on you and your unique goals. Let's go here. What we're going to do today is I'll introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'll review the steps in my process, and then we'll walk through this process together in a workbook or in your journal. Okay, who am I? Who the heck am I? I help women over 50 get moving and feel better even as the aches and pains of age start to creep in. And now I'm 60. And so my purpose in this later half of life, and I started out this journey being a personal trainer and online fitness person with videos back in when I would turn 50. It was 2013. But my purpose now in this later half of life is to meld my engineering and project management experience with my passion for health and fitness to find unique ways to enlighten, inspire, and empower others to lead healthy, productive lives. How about that? I've kept this purpose since I started when I became my company called Be Healthy Enough, and I came up with this through a nutrition school that I was in. How do I do this? How do I manage to help enlighten and inspire and empower others? I have online workouts designed for us women of a certain age. I have over 470 now. I started out in 2019 with 48 that I filmed in 2 weekends, and now I've got 470. Another value that I add is motivation and community. And with this, by motivation, I create workout plans because everybody's at a different stage in their fitness journey. And if you're over 50, you'll have an ache or pain. You're most likely to. I'm building up my strength since the beginning of the year, and now my elbow hurts because I overdid it. But anyway, motivation, community. We are a big, cute group of women, all at the similar stages of life, post-menopause, most of us, dealing with those aches and pains, and we help each other by lifting each other up and bragging a bit at some of our successes. And sometimes it's fun to share some of the great things that are happening in your life. And then the other thing I love to do, there it is share my knowledge, what I'm doing today. I am an osteoporosis fitness specialist. I am a menopause fitness specialist, personal trainer, health coach, and a group class instructor. And I just recently got certified in my the pelvis floor area. I took the Pelvis Pro course, which blew my mind, by Sarah Duvall. The core something, I can't remember what the name of her business is right now. Oh shoot. Core Exercise Solutions. She is an amazing physical therapist that focuses slowly on the pelvic floor. I have a degree in engineering. It took me about 4 months to get through this course, and it brought me back to those days of studying differential equations and mechanical engineering and all this stuff. It just was so complicated. So I'm still trying to decide how I roll this out into an online platform because it's very, very, very individualized. Okay, enough about me. So planning, I am a firm believer. Planning is the key to getting results. When I was at Hewlett Packard in my engineering degree, I became a project manager. I got certified in the a project management professional. I took the PMP exam, if any of you are familiar with that. That was another mind-blowing exam that took me 4 hours to get through. But planning is key in anything. If you don't have a plan, it's bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it. If you just willy-nilly start going on with your day, you're most likely not going to meet the visions that you have unless you're okay with just going willy-nilly through your day. And if you're watching this, if you found my video for women over 50, you're probably not one of them. You've probably got some nice visions of where you'd like to get to this year and just not sure how to get there. So you got to come up with a plan. The process overview that we're going to follow today is the first step is to assess. It's a great way to highlight areas of success and opportunity, areas of concern that you want to address. The next thing we're going to do is prioritizing. We've got to focus on what's important. Most important, I'm sure you've got a lot of goals, a lot of things you want to work on, but focusing on the key ones is important to get the results that you want. And it might be that you've got to tackle some really deep ones. Like if you're in pain right now, you've got to tackle that first before you can get to the next level. Have you heard of Maslow's pyramid, where you've got to get that base, those base things done before you can take it up to the next level? All right, the next thing we're going to do is do some visualization, because if you can dream and imagine how it would feel, it helps get more clarity so you can get there. Then we're going to set goals that are meaningful to you and are realistic to your life. And then we're going to take action, but realistic action that's going to lead to habits. Last year in Be Healthy Enough Community, we stepped through the book, The Atomic Habits, learning how to make better lasting habits that you don't even have to think about. And a lot of us now in the community are exercising regularly now because it's become a habit. How did we start? We started out slow, but we did it. We created habits, and now they're non-negotiable, so we have to do it if we don't feel good about our day. All right, let's see. Then we assess again, and this is going to be an ongoing process. You're going to do this for maybe 1 to 3 months, not for the whole year. Maybe take some goals for 1 to 3 months, and then assess maybe just once a month. My process is once a month. Raising my hand here. I sit down with my husband and we go through goals that we have, house projects, things that we want to align, that making sure our expectations are aligned. And then we review them at the end of the month. And that's a kind of a good chunk of time to get some action. All right, we are going to be taking a look back into the future. I'm on page 3 of your workbook, if you want to pull that out. So the first thing we're going to take a look at, going back and looking back at the year, I've listened to several podcasts and watched a couple interviews on goal setting this year. Every single person had this process. And taking the time, now close your eyes, and I'm going to give you some things to think about, and then you can hit pause if you want. But think about last year. What went really well? What are you most proud of? What made you feel great? You can be writing these down now. What brought you joy? I did this with my husband. I love that. What brought me joy? And things that brought me joy is I upgraded my computer last year. The hard drive was bad and my computer was so slow. There is nothing more frustrating than a slow computer. I got a massage. I found a woman that's close to me, and I signed up for a 6-month. If you bought 6 months, you get each massage a little bit cheaper. So I've been going every month for the last 6 months. Religiously. That just brings me joy to pamper myself. I'm not one to spend time on self-care, although I'm working on it. What are some of your happiest moments? We bought a camping van and we camped last January in Death Valley, and we didn't camp in Sedona, but Joshua Tree. I filmed workout videos in all these places. That brought me so much joy. There was one video I did in Joshua Tree in the middle of nowhere. No one was there. And I was filming this and I was literally crying because I just couldn't believe that I was there in Joshua Tree, filming an exercise video, some of the things I love to do, and it was amazing. Anyway, what do you want to keep doing? Sometimes we think about those things that bring us joy. What do we want to make sure we continue to do? We don't want to give that up. And what are we really excited about? Okay, pause if you need to and write down all the things that you can think of. And if it's not all inclusive, you can certainly come back to this later. Okay, next thing you want to do, we need to go over here. There we go. Better ifs. When I was at Hewlett Packard, we would get our yearly performance evaluations and, what did you do well, but what could be better if? And I love that term, better if. Better if. What could you have done differently? What disappointed you? What didn't go the way that you hope? And what mistakes did you make? Mistakes, I think, are pretty valuable tools when you're assessing how you're doing, because you can learn from those. What are some of those things that you might, oh crap, that didn't go the way I wanted, but boy, did I learn something from that? Either that you'll never do that again, or you'll take actions to make sure it never happens to you again. All right, so take a moment. You can hit pause and assess. We're back up here. You can see the little flow chart we're in assess right now. All right, if you're ready to go, let's go on to the next one. Now this is going to be page 5 of your workbook, or you can draw just a big circle, and I'm going to be going around the circle talking about areas I've picked that I feel are important to a well-balanced life. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. These may not resonate with you, but so you can change them if you want. This is you. This is for you. Don't think you need to follow exactly what I'm doing. But let's go through the ones that I've picked because I think they're very important. And of course, physical health is the top of my list. How do you feel? Excuse me, I'm burping. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to cut that out. How do you feel right now? Does your body feel good? Can you do the things you love? Are you healthy enough to do the things you love to do in life? Or are you feeling achy, or are you fat and flabby, or just not feeling good physically? That's that. Now, I want you to, as we go through this, mark on here how you feel. Now, 0 being completely dissatisfied, you hurt when you get up in the morning, or you just feel so unhappy with your body. Your physical health is a 0. If you're feeling pretty good, then you're going to mark that up at the end, which is a 10. Okay, does that make sense? All right, mark that down. The next area is mental well-being. Okay, I put this down here because this has been a big thing since 2020, especially for me. The isolation brought out some things and some triggers that made me not feel myself, and I did take some time to dig into what that was. But are you happy with your life? Do you get sad? Are you depressed? Do you feel just want to stay in bed all day? You need to mark 0, not satisfied, or 10, you feel amazing. The next one, I'm going to try to get through these quickly. Environment. This means how do you feel in the environment that you're in? Do you feel good? You feel good about waking up to your day? Is it cluttered and you just feel like it needs a sprucing up or some time to organize? This is super important, because if you are stuff is completely all over the place, this is a proven fact by science, I think, that clutter causes distraction. You cannot focus and take time to get the things done that you need to get done because you're constantly under this clutter. I'm looking around right now, and that's one of my activities this year is my junk drawer. One of my top drawers is turned into a junk drawer, and I can't find anything, so it slows me down into getting things I need to get done. All right, let's move on. Next one is romance and love. How do you feel about your love life? you may feel fine. Even if you're single, you may be completely content. You're going to mark that a 10. Or maybe this is an area you want to find some romance or some love. Then you're going to mark that a little bit lower on the scale. And then let's go through friends and family. It just was Christmas time. How do you feel about the friends that you have, the family that you spend time with? Do they make you happy? Do they bring you joy, or do they weigh you down? I don't know. Anybody watches it's a vampire show, What We Do in the Shadows, and there's one, it's not a vampire per se, he doesn't suck blood, but he's an energy vampire, and he zaps the life out of people. Do you have people in your life that do that? Is this an area where you need to focus on? Career and purpose. I don't care if you're retired, you're 80 years old, you need to have a purpose or a reason to get out of bed. I add career because some of you may be in your career. Are you happy with your career? Or do you need to make a change? You just dread getting up in the morning, or do you not have any purpose in life? You just sort of slug through the day. You don't have a reason to get out of bed. I think this is really important. So take some time to evaluate that part of your life. Finances, again, do you have the finances that you need to do the things that you love to do today? And for your future security. That's a super important piece for this demographic, because we are over 50. Some of you are already retired. Some of you are thinking about retirement. Is this an area where you need to talk to an expert? You need to maybe find another job to build up that nest egg. This is an area you need to mark a 0 into 10 right now. And then personal growth and learning. Knowledge is power. So are you taking the time to learn more, to expand yourself, just to expand your ability to be a better human being? This is a key part for me. In fact, that's one of my goals for this year, is to learn something new each week. Spirituality, and this means something different for everybody, but are you connected to your higher power, or do you feel spiritually fulfilled? It is a part of the human life, okay? Having a higher power. Some may not believe in that. I firmly do. If this doesn't resonate with you, pick something else, whatever feels good to you. And then self-care. Are you taking the time to get those massages? Do you have enough time to do that? Or do you need to find ways to change your lifestyle a little bit, or rearrange your schedule so you have time for you? If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be there to take care of others when and if they need you. All right? Take a minute and write that down. I have to remember to go back to my screen. I'm going to show mine. I've marked my physical health. You're not going to be able to see me. I've marked my physical health very high. My mental well-being a little bit lower. Environment, romance, love, all of that. I want you to mark that down, and then I want you to circle the 2 to 3 that you marked the lowest, okay? Now for me, I circled mental well-being. For those of you who don't know me, in December 14th of 2022, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Caught it early. I'm in the stages right now of finding what treatment plan will work for me based on all the data. I'm gathering data. I'm in data gathering mode right now. I don't know what it's going to be, but it threw a curveball in my life. So mental well-being is something that I need to make sure. And on top of all of that, I had to go off my hormone replacement therapy, which made me feel like a human being again, because the cancer that I have is receptive to estrogen and progesterone. So it's reactive to that. So I have to get rid of all of that. And the anxiety of doing that, the sleep, the problems. I was more worried about having to stop that hormone replacement therapy, because again, it made me feel normal again. I was more worried about that than having to get a mastectomy. So mental well-being is something. I went on a tangent. Sorry about that. I've been known to go on tangents. Sorry. Friends and family, I feel okay about that. I marked it a little low for some private reasons I'm not going to share. something I'm not going to share. All right. And then self-care too. Career. I feel very good about my career. Finances are good. Personal learning, spirituality. I feel very connected to my higher powers. So connected. But self-care, I need to make sure I'm taking that into account. Now, if you can see here, I marked physical health. Where is that? Pretty high. But I also want you to star some things that even though they're feeling good, those are so important to you. And my physical health is so important to me. It's my livelihood. And it's always been one of my top values is physical health. So I put a little star on that. In fact, I put a star on those 3 things that are super important to me. Friends and family, even though I marked it low, I'm not going to put some effort into that right now. It's just not part of what I want to work on. So my top 3 are physical health, mental well-being, and self-care. Okay, I'm moving around. I'm going to go back to my computer. I wanted to grab something here. So before I go on, you've got those marked, but before I go on, I want to read a story so it hones in on you the concept of big rocks of life, okay? I'm going to read this to you. And I've got these big rock jars here because I want you to see that. And this is by Stephen Covey. He did the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and First Things First. And I'm going to read it so I don't forget, I don't miss anything. A teacher stood in front of his class. He said, okay, time for a quiz. Then he pulled out a 1-gallon wide-mouthed mason jar and set it on the table in front of him. Then he produced about a dozen fist-sized rocks and carefully placed them one at a time into the jar. When the jar was filled to the top and no more rocks would fit inside, he asked, "Is the jar full?" Everyone in the class said yes. Then he said, "Really?" He reached under the table and pulled out a bucket of gravel. Then he dumped some gravel in and shook the jar, causing the pieces of gravel to work themselves down into the spaces between the rocks. Then he smiled and asked the group once more, "Is the jar full?" By this time, the class was on to him, and they said, "Probably not." "Good," he replied, and he reached under the table and brought out a bucket of sand. He started dumping the sand in, and it went into all the spaces left between the rocks and the gravel. Once more, he asked the question, "Is this jar full?" "No," the class shouted. Once again, he said, "Good." Then he grabbed a pitcher of water and began to pour it in until the jar was filled to the brim. Then he looked at the class and asked, "What is the point of this illustration?" One eager beaver raised his hand and said, "The point is, no matter how full your schedule is, if you really try hard, you can always fit some more things into it." That was cute. "What are the big rocks in..." I'm sorry, I skipped on. "No," the speaker replied, "that's not the point. The truth is, this illustration teaches us is that if you don't put the big rocks in first, you'll never get them in at all." So right now, those things that you start and circle, I would consider those are the big projects, the big rocks of your life. Things you want to get done. Those are the things that are important to you and no one else, okay? Remember, we're going to talk about putting those big rocks first or we'll never get them in at all. How about that? All right, here we go. Now let's find your big rocks. Okay, I'm on page 6. So what I want you to do now is take just a moment and rewrite those things you starred or circles, those 3 things. I want you to only pick 3. And if you only have 1, that's okay too, but I want no more than 3. If physical health is so bad, that's got to be your priority above all else. If your mental well-being is so bad, just pick that. That might be better to focus on that. Sometimes when you get through some of those really big rocks and you can make them a little bit better, you score them a little bit higher, things will cascade to make some of the other areas of your life a little bit better. So take a moment and rewrite your top 3 priorities. I think that's it. Those are your big rocks today. And they're going to change. They might change throughout the year or even throughout the month as you get better at creating habits. Physical health, for instance, if you exercise every day and you're feeling great, that might not be the big rock that you need to work on anymore. Okay, where are we at? Now the next thing that we're going to do for each of those big rocks, we're going to look at our vision. We're in the visualize step of the process up here. I love this quote by Oprah Winfrey: create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. All right. So now what we're going to do is you're going to open your workbook up to page number 7, and you are going to visualize. You're going to close your eyes for each one of your big rocks. And I want you to visualize what satisfaction would feel like. I'm going to use a story for physical health. One example could be that you want to improve your physical health so that you can hike with your husband. You want to hike to the hill or hike on a vacation with your husband and keep up with him. So that's your big rock, is your physical health. And then visualizing that hike, visualizing you both making it to the top, or you even beat him up to the top, could be your vision. Okay, so take a moment, hit pause, and for each of your big rocks, I want you to just close your eyes and visualize what would that feel like if you met that goal, or if you marked that a 10 on that circle of life. Hit pause. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. The next step is optional. It's creating a vision board for each of your big rocks. One of our members, she's so cute, Kim, if you're watching this, I used to do this when I first started doing vision boards back in 2010 or so. We would get a big group of women, have some wine and some snacks, and we would just go through magazines willy-nilly, cutting out things that meant something to us. But I've updated that version using this circle of like and the big rocks. And I give you some instructions in the workbook on how to do this later. And Kim, she put together her vision board, and she cut out a picture of a rock, and she had 3 of her rocks, and below that she had pictures of what that would feel like if she met the goals for those big rocks. So she added a little bonus. We posted inside the Be Healthy Enough private Facebook, it's not Facebook group, we have our separate community group inside my platform where I host the videos, and it was just awesome. I loved it. So if you want to do this later, I didn't pull out my vision boards, it's too hard to show, but I have vision boards I've kept for over the years, and it's a really fun thing to do. What's even more fun, if you're a grandparent or a mom, to do this with your kids. It's so cute. I remember my nieces pulling up their vision boards. We did this, and they shared us, the things that they went. They were probably 5 or 6, and it was just so cute to see what their visions were at that age. I wonder if they still kept those. All right, let's move on. We're in the visualize. Now we're going to move to, that didn't work out there. Now we're going to move to setting goals, okay? And I want to go over, a goal is the vision for your future. Goals should be the result of careful consideration of your personal vision and things you want to achieve. And simply put, it's a dream with a deadline, okay? I want to emphasize that a goal is not an objective. While goals describe what you want to achieve, objectives are the steps taken. So you just did this visualization about, and really what you did, took your big rocks and you set a goal by visualizing that. A goal is not a resolution, which can often, and these New Year's resolutions are typically pretty temporary unless you're getting really good at setting them. They offer a little bit of short-term gratification. A goal is not the finish line either. I want you to think of this is sort of like a progress, like Maslow's pyramid. You might need to set those basic goals so you can get higher and higher and higher, be healthier, happier, richer, smarter, anything you want to be, you've got to set that baseline. So this is a waypoint in your journey. And I added this example. My animation didn't work here. For example, I want to improve my physical health to hike with my husband. Is that vision, that goal? I will build up my hiking muscles by the end of the month is the objective, okay? We're going to step through this a little bit more. So what I want you to do, I didn't want to go there yet. Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, let's do that. Let me share you. I love this visual that I created about how the vision and the goal and the objectives and your action plan all tie together. And I added in this little piece, these petals, as a reward. I found this somewhere and I just loved it. And it talks to what I meant, that setting these goals is a little bit of a journey. It's a waypoint, and taking action toward those, because they flower into rewards consistent with your vision. along with some surprises you might never have imagined. So imagine this, the center of the flower. This is your vision, the sun. The center is your goal. The objectives are the leaves, which are your action plan, and the rewards are the petals. Let me show you just an example here. Hike with my husband is that vision. And then your goal is to build your muscles. That's one action, is to build your muscles. And so you're going to find, your objectives are to find strength workouts. Do them twice a week. Hike once a week. Eat enough protein. Get enough water. But the rewards are going to be maybe more than hiking with your husband. Your clothes might fit a little bit better. You might lose some weight. You might feel better. You're spending time outside. You might be happier and you're in less pain. I love that visual, and that's what we're going to use to start working on our goals. So the next thing you're going to do, your task, page 9 of your worksheet, is for each of your big rock, and if you just had one big rock, that's okay. The ones you've decided on, you're going to set a goal. So pause for a minute, rewrite your big rocks, and then set a goal for each one of them. Okay? Pause, otherwise I'm going to get going. Now it's time for some action. We're getting down the wire, okay? We're getting down the wire. I promise. Sorry, my dog's banging on the door. Whiskey? No, my dog's name is Whiskey. Okay, let's talk about actions. The best way to make steady progress toward any goal is by developing and following a well-designed action plan. As I said earlier, you can have these goals, but unless you do the work, they're not going to happen. Oops, I got to click over here. Come on. The best action plan is built around activities or your objectives that you can realistically fit into your life, with the ultimate goal of creating lasting habits. And tracking and a regular review process are key to making progress and learning and refining your goals. Does that make sense? So you got to have an action plan. You've got to have objectives that feel right and will fit into your life. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. And then you've got to have a regular review process. All right, the next step you're going to take, and this is going to take some time, is that you're going to create your own action plan. I gave you a sheet. It's got your goal. This is just for one goal, by the way. What's the action? And then possible objectives. Okay, I put 1, 2, 3. You don't have to have, you might have a little bit more if you want. 3 objectives. I just put it so you can have some room, or you can just use your journal. So pause right now and take some time to go through each of your goal, your big rock. What's the goal? What's the action? And what are the measurable objectives? And while you're doing that, I'll step you through an example here of the theme of keeping up with your husband on a hike in April. I put the time base there because that makes it a little bit more easier to convey. So the first action that you would want to do is, of course, build up your hiking muscles, right? What would be an objective for that? I have 3 I've thought about. Find a strength workout that you can realistically do that works for you by the end of January. Do those workouts 2 times a week. I always recommend 2 days of strength training to build muscles. Any more than that and you're likely to get hurt, okay? You don't need to be doing strength training every other day. If you're after 50, you don't need it. And then you want to get out and hike at least once a week. That'd be objective. Another action item with this is staying motivated. What is going to keep you doing your 2-a-day workouts? 2 a week, excuse me, not 2 a day, 2 a week workouts and hiking once a week. You're going to create a plan. An objective action would be staying motivated. The plan would be create a workout plan every Sunday. We adopted in the Be Healthy Enough community. I used to do a Monday motivation email, and we've switched to a Sunday setup. So every Sunday I send an email to members reminding them to take the time to map out when they're going to get their workouts done. Put out their calendar, what they're going to do. I usually give them the what because I create workout plans for members, but they have to do the when and even the where, because I now have an iPad and I'm working on my Android app. So you can pretty much take me anywhere, but you need to mark that down and make that action plan every Sunday. Find a hiking buddy. Maybe by you do that, review your progress at the end of the month. And then the third action I thought of to keeping the goal and having that goal of hiking with your husband in April is stay injury free. Objective, make sure you got a good pair of shoes. Make sure your core and your balance is good so you don't trip and then hurt yourself. I did that preparing for a hike with my 2 nieces in Catalina. I hurt my foot. 6 weeks before the hike, and we were backpacking and everything. So staying injury-free is important to me. Maybe you want to stretch and foam roll, take a little bit more time to do a healthy foot video. I have one of those. Or a hiking video to build good muscles. I have a couple of those. Get a massage like I'm doing once a week. Does that make sense? But you've got to sit down and do this for yourself. If you need help, you let me know. I can help you. So what's next for you? I love this quote by Michelle Obama. The only height to the limit of your achievement is the reach of your dreams, is the reach of your dreams, and the willingness to work for them. I like this part, the willingness to work for them. And I think I've talked ad nauseum about that, is that you've got to do the work. Take some time, do the work, fill out the workbook, review it, create your own tracking sheet. I'll share some with you later. I have one I didn't call up. I'll share that with you later. If you're inside the Be Healthy Enough community, you know I have that, and I'll share a little bit more. Or just sign my newsletter, or email me or text me or leave a comment here, and I'll send you something. And then the next 2 things, here we go. Keep it simple. Please keep it simple. It's going to get too overwhelming. And then work at it. Get support. Ask for help if you need it. All right? Okay. What's next for you is, if physical health is a part of your big rock, if you want to be more physically healthy next year, we're going to be digging deep inside this in the Be Healthy Enough Digital Fitness Studio. Members, this is a membership platform. I'll share a little bit about that in a minute. But we're doing the Best Me in 2023 4-week challenge. And the members started on January 1st, but you do not have to start on January 1st. You can start at any time during the year. It's a 4-week workout challenge. I share some more details in a landing page that I'll put below. But 5 days, I challenge you to work out 5 days a week for 4 weeks. And if you do that and you mark down using the tracking sheet, I'm going to give you a special prize, okay? And again, we're going to be digging into the circle of health. As we did the circle of life, I've broken down the circle of health into key components of being healthy. And we're going to score those and then get even more clarity on those things that you need to be working on for improving your physical health. So what is the Digital Fitness Studio? I said I'd tell you about that, the Be Healthy Enough Digital Fitness Studio. It's workout videos for us over 50. As I said earlier, I've got 470 videos ranging from 5 to 60 minutes for strength training, cardio, Pilates, balance, posture, foam rolling. I've got yoga, meditation, and these knowledge videos as well. So again, I'm uploading new workouts every day. I just filmed 2 while we were camping at Christmas on the beach. They're so cool. Over here, what else is the Digital Fitness Studio? It's workout plans. Anybody can go out on YouTube. I'm very, very happy. I can go out on YouTube and find a workout for anything. Free. So if you are motivated and you can do that, why not? You do not have to join my membership. But if you don't know what to do, each month I release a new workout calendar, and I have custom calendars for those aches and pains. I've got a knee-friendly 4-week challenge, a shoulder-friendly, a foot hurts, because I hurt my foot last year, so I created, if God forbid you hurt your foot, you don't want to stop moving, you want to keep moving, but you've got to find ways to work around that. And then all sorts of, if you're just starting out, I've got goals and plans for that. I'm a planner. I love planning. So I create plans all the time. In fact, I'm coming up with a new one in March for Strength Month. But one of the key pieces is motivation and support. We have a members only community. When you join, you get the help of others that are going through similar things. And if you can't get support from there, you reach out to me. I'm not one of those big Jillian Michaels and who else is anyway, I can't think of them now, but I'm not that big, and I love my job, and I love it when members reach out to me. I'm your online personal trainer when you join. Okay, now that since you watched to the very end, I have a gift for you. If you're not a member, keep an eye out. I'm going to send you, actually, it's not coming to your inbox because this is going to be on YouTube. Unless you want the workbook, then I can send you this. But if you click the link below, there's a landing page that goes to the Best Me in 2023 4-week challenge, and I'm giving you a 50% off coupon for the first month, okay? And I've got some new pricing as well, which might be enticing. Or if you need to set up, I offer a free 30-minute wellness consultation. Okay. All right. So that's that. If you are a member, and I know some members might be watching this, the video of this is going to be in your inbox. The new month calendars are going to be in your inbox. What I want you to make sure is you're picking a plan, because failing to plan, actually, I'm going to share that in a minute. Here we go. Because failing to plan is planning to fail. It's a quote by Benjamin Franklin that I love. And so make sure you're picking of the 4-week Be Healthy, the Best Me 4-week challenge. I've got 3 plans to choose from. This first plan is making exercise a habit again, or just getting started with 5 to 10 minute workouts. That's it. Designed for us over 50. Following my basic philosophy of making sure that you're getting 2 days of full body strength as much as you can, and getting some cardio and core and posture and balance. So this is perfect if you're just starting out. If a member comes to me and they're really stuck, that's my first recommendation, is 5 minutes for 5 days, no more, no less. If you get through those 5 days in a week, then you maybe bump it up to 10 minutes. What you're trying to do is create some consistency. And you might feel like, oh God, this is nothing. But believe me, trust the process. It works. I've seen it work a million times, not a million, several times, that you get to feeling how good exercise feels, and not trying to fit in that hour-long workout class that you used to do in your 30s. When you haven't worked out in 6 months, you just feel like crap. And that's not what we want. We want to build up exercise to feeling good. And then I've got the second plan is for those of you who have a foundation, you just want to stay motivated and consistent with 30-minute workouts. Last year, I got, Amy, 30-minute workouts. And some of my members, if you're watching, very honest and said, if it's more than 30 minutes, you won't do it. And I get that. When you're doing online workouts, 30 minutes is such a sweet spot. And I'm a firm believer that you can get a very effective workout done in 30 minutes that leaves you feeling good, not beat up. So you come back the next day. Consistency is key. And then the last one, for those of you, you know who you are, you want to kick it up a notch. This workout plan is greater than 30-minute workouts, and they're a bit more challenging. They still follow my same fitness formula of 2 full body strength workouts a week, 1 core workout a week, sprinkle in some cardio or active recovery, and that's all you need. It's not very complicated. Thank you. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out, leave me a comment. If you want the workbook here, I leave the link so I can send it to you in your email. If you want to try the Best Me in 2023 4-week workout challenge, I'll leave that link to a landing page that tells you a little bit more about it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.